the teaching bit. It's not a very big deal. It's not very difficult how to do that and how to present the evidence. Either may it be from UK and it could be from abroad. Then research. Second half is for the research, how to present evidence for your research bit. And so it is like critically appraise the research evidence, and such evidence may be, the number one point is that departmental journal club. So again, it's very easy that if there is no journal club, you can set it up and you can start doing it. And please don't do it only for your portfolio thingy, but do it for, for the betterment of the department, for the betterment of the patients, for the betterment of the diagnostic skills. So, but it's very easy. So set up a journal club, so two things you can do very easily for the teaching sessions, and for the research, journal clubs. So two things, these are doable in any part, anywhere in the world. So you can not only participate if it is not being held, I'm repeating, you can start it. So it will cover your administrative skills, it will cover your leadership skills, it will cover your communication skills, it will cover your research part. And you can just do a discussion of any recent article, or maybe, MDS, minimum data sets from Royal College, if those are updated ones are there, or you can discuss with different colleges around the world for like just compare and contrast. So sometimes in the group there is some question is being asked, and then some colleges are doing or giving the evidence something different. So you can always appraise those things. Like, for example, in the WhatsApp group, there was discussion about lymphovascular invasion in breast tumors and how to, write a report around that in post-chemotherapeutic patients. So very easily you can set up a journal club, take a recent article, do that, present the article, get the feedback. So it will be your presentation skills, it will be communication. So it will cover everything. Acting as a reviewer for a scientific journal, yes, supported by the acknowledgement of. So I just did during the making this presentation for this session. I said that, okay, how many journals I'm reviewer. So your name is there already. So BMC medical education I did for that. So I could have done. I didn't put it, but I could have put that for my. Maybe I forgot for my portfolio pathway teaching, and because it's medical education and reviewer research also, and then Asian Journal for case reports or in surgery. So sometimes you get an email for a review, article review. So if you do get that, please do that. And they always send you, most of the time they send you a thank you email or thank you letter. You can just submit that. So it's again quite easy. But if you don't even get that, that's again fine. The journal club is the way to go. So what's a journal club? So I'm always saying that I'm very lucky to be working in, I think, best of the best departments of the countries where I have been. So the journal club where I did my training, there used to be a journal club. So I think I'm talking about 2008 or 9. And so how to set up, what's the purpose, what's the benefit? So if you don't have that, you can do that. Even in UK, if you don't, like your department is clinical work heavy, it's not a uni hospital, it's a DGH hospital. So I can understand totally, completely, but you can start that. So what's the purpose? That critically appraise, staying current and evidence-based practice. So it's not that because, it gives me irritation if someone says that because someone else used to do this, we should continue to do that. No. Over here, if someone says that, we should use our brain, that, oh, this is the panel which has always been applied. And So no, if you should question. I'm not saying that question everything. Like, of course we can question everything, but for the betterment of patient, why we are applying 4 immunopanel on this type of tumor, or why don't we apply only 2, or why do you have to, you have to then and it's evidence based practice. Always go back and see what's the evidence in the literature, latest one, for that. And if they say that, yes, the other 2 immunos are not very helpful, you can always go back to, and you can present. So it will be two things. It will be quality improvement activity. Again, it is like, and it's not difficult. People don't do it. That makes it difficult. But once you are there and you think and you give your proposition, and so the best thing about working in UK is that you have got so many, most of the trust, I think all of the trusts would have like we have got e-library, so would have access to the different journals, so you can just have a look, try to think, so it can be a quality improvement that you reduced the certain type number of immunos, or you reduced the levels, or you reduced some, or you may increase. I'm not saying it's always the reduction, or you may always say, for example, that inflammatory skin, why we are doing only 3 levels, let's start with 6 levels and DPAS in the initial go. And that will, what it will do, it will reduce the turnaround time for the inflammatory skin disorders. So it's lot, but it shouldn't be from your own mind. What you can do is that evidence-based practice. So journal club, evidence-based practice, and then it can lead to quality improvement project even. So how do the journal club works? Presentation. So articles must be distributed well ahead of time so that everyone can have a look at the article. And then discussion, engage in the group discussion. Then checklist or appraise, that critical appraisal. So your two, for your research thing, two things would be, sorry, this the first and second would be filled in with this, that you can critically appraise and you can participate in the departmental journal club. So for research, and because sometimes we don't have that research based attitude, I would say, we don't do it, and it's fine, it's completely fine that we are not interested, we have not never been interested. So but you can, for portfolio, because you have to show your evidence that yes, you are, if if required, you are there. If needed, you should be able to critically appraise an article and do that. So journal club, you can do the critical appraisal, you can do the evidence-based practice, you can do the QIP, quality improvement program, you can do loads of things sitting in your wherever, like anywhere in the world. So appraisal, and then synthesis and actions. So improve patient care. So how the evidence can be applied to improve patient care. So this is again amazing thing that instead of doing 4 melanoma markers, if you can do only prem these days, it will reduce your workload. It will reduce your the money being spent on additional slides, additional workload. So it's not only one slide. If you ask for another level, it's not only one slide. It's a technical staff who will go and find the blog, open, do the cutting, do the trimming. It takes time. And then it takes time. Automated stainers are there, but they do take time. They do take electricity. They do take, stains. So think about those things and you can very easily facilitate. So not only for your portfolio pathway, I would say it's all around overall betterment. So paper selection, presentation skills, I would say that select the paper for the journal club, which is like for the maximum workload in your department, whatever fields are getting, whatever subspecialties are getting, and then you can present the paper according to that. And it can be even related to the macroscopic examination, grossing, and your grossing techniques. Okay, and research methods applicable for service improvement. And then you can also show that any diagnostic test accuracy assessment. So maybe a new lab test is coming, and it's not only like certain special stain or some specific test, like I did for digital pathology. So how to do that? That any test is coming, and then validation, and then what are the processes. So you can just take part in that. And literally, I was trying to find people who were at the time, like it's been now almost 3 years when we started the journey. And I'm very proud to say that all the consultants in my department are now, and it was not easy with almost 1.5 scanner and limited number of resources. So I brag about that actually. So, and then any new diagnostic test which has come, so you can just involve with the immuno lead, BMS or clinical, with the special stain lead, with the maybe someone is doing a different technique for grossing, do that, critically appraise that. So it's very not very difficult, to be honest. Even if you don't have a published manuscript, best thing would be to publish something in a peer-reviewed journal. As simple as that. If you've got a case report, these days I'm trying to find someone who can write very nice. I've got two awesome case reports. So if anyone of you is interested, please approach. And two case reports, like the topics are there, the sample is there. So anyone can write, because if you have got authorship criteria is that if you have contributed in writing a case report, that would be perfect. So if you want to, I'm just offering, just it reminded me of that. And I tried to include one of our juniors, but they're very busy. So like busy for some months. So they said that after a couple of months, they might get into that. So best thing is to, for the research, is to provide the evidence of a publication. But even if you can't, then other things, conference presentation and those things. So engagement with research approval, then governance. This is a bit tricky to get involved, even in the UK, that ethical review committee meetings or those things. So I used to be a part of ethical review committee before in one of my workplace, but not here. And so it might be difficult for you. So, but I think other things you can very easily, especially the journal club and teaching sessions, you can very easily do that. Thank you so much for your engagement.